Whatever. Alrighty. What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Booth Podcast. Just getting everything set up and we'll be ready to go. Hope everyone's day is going well, week's going well, weekend going well. Got a lot to talk about this week. You just gotta put on TikTok that I'm going live. Also, I realized because it's at 5:40. Definitely not 5:40. Plenty at this point. I forget it. What's up, everybody? I'm live with this week's episode of Benny in the Booth podcast. I've got daily walk-off, MLB weekly recap, college football week 3 recap, and week 4 preview, and NFL week 2 recap and week 3 preview. All in this episode. Come check it out. Link is always in bio. See you there. What's up, everybody? I'm live. I know. See.
Yankees up. We'll stand.
Okay, that's posted. Hello, whoever's here. Can't see who's here. I did it later this week because I wanted to do it after class this week, so I wasn't in a hurry with the episode. Probably be more around this time, this semester. Oh yeah, also I have officially applied to graduate college after this semester. So officially, I am set to graduate in January. Oddly enough, I think that my graduation is actually on a Tuesday, so that's going to be an interesting story. Once we get to January, I still got a lot to focus about, including the rest of the semester before I even think about January. But that I think is a Tuesday, oddly enough. So we'll have to, so probably won't be doing that on Tuesday that week, but we'll probably still put out the episode either way. It just won't be on Tuesday. We'll have to figure out what day I'll do it. Also, there's a WWE show coming to MSG in a few weeks, and depending on pricing and a few other factors, I might end up going. There's a good chance I end up going to the show in person, which if I do, and it's not a guarantee that I do, but by the chance I do, let me know if you guys want me to do a vlog from the trip, or not the trip, from the show. I mean, it'd be a bit tougher to do vlog because like there's a lot of stuff that could get like copyright claimed, but maybe I can make a vlog out of it somehow. But if you guys want to vlog, let me know. But also, again, it's not a guarantee that I'm going yet. Possibly I don't end up going, but chance I do, we'll have to see. Just getting everything set up. Also, if you guys remember, I was involved in a baseball club last year in Landers. Well, that just got shut down on a whole lot of whole messy situation. So I won't be having that issue this semester. Just a wacky situation. Feel bad for coach because it's like he puts a lot of effort into doing it every week, just like to get shut down. It was a whole messy situation in the beginning. But yeah, just craziness. Here we go. Also, by the way, if you see that there's something up with my camera or in the stream while I'm streaming and I don't notice it, please do let me know in the live chat because I do want to know if there is something up. Either I can clarify it if I know, or I can look into it. But yeah, please do let me know. Like, don't be. You're able to talk and chat. You don't have to be subscribed. You don't have to be. You don't have to pay to put message in chat. Like, just let me know. I hope to not have bugs, but every once in a while there will randomly be stuff. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to this week's episode of Betting in the Booth podcast, episode 187 or 188. Sorry. Thank you all so much for the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. We've got a lot to talk about this week. In baseball, we have teams that clinched playoff spots, including the Cubs, who, with their win today, clinched their first playoff appearance since COVID season, where they got swept by the Marlins in 2 games. I do not want to talk about that wildcard series. And we've got a few other teams who've clinched playoff spots. Divisions, I think Philly only clinched. Might be wrong. Maybe they did clinch the AL East. Oh no, and we got division clinched. But for the most part, it's playoff spots. Also we've got a week in college football, which thought it was gonna be like a dry weekend, and it was not a dry weekend. We had to mostly dry. There were a few upsets. Arch Manning had a rough week. Ohio State had a rough week, but they still won. And NFL had a whole week as well. I'm honestly the Browns at this point are probably going to start the season like 0-5. I don't even know what to say about them anymore this year. But yeah, let's get right into it. So today's daily walk-off, I already done Immaculate Grade today, so I'm not gonna I can't do it again. But today's daily walk-off, I'm doing Red Sox and Yankees for today. Categories are top 5 in homers for 1990s, top 20 in homers for 2000s, top 20 homers in 2010s, and top 5 in homers in 2020s through 2024. And the player options: Jackie Bradley, Mike Greenwell, Adrian Beltre, Alex Verdugo, Rafael Devers, Will Middlebrooks, Doug Mirabelli, Kevin Millard, Bobby Dalbec, Kevin Euclid, Nomar Garciaparra, and Mo Vaughn. Greenwell, Vaughn, and Nomar, I'm going to say, are 290s. Mirabelli, Millar, and Euclid, I'm going to say 2000s. 10s would be Beltre, Middlebrooks, Bradley. Honestly, this might be fully correct. And it is fully correct. So, full grading answers: 1990s top 5 in homers, Mo Vaughn, Mike Greenwell, Nomar Garciaparra. 2000s top 20 in homers, Kevin Euclid, Kevin Millar, Doug Mirabelli. Top 20 in homers for the 2010s, Adrian Beltre, who only spent 1 year with the Red Sox, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Will Middlebrooks. And 2020's top 5 in homers through 2024, Alex Verdugo, Bobby Dalbec. And now for the Yankees, same categories, just different players. DJ Mayhew, Giancarlo Stanton, Alex Rodriguez. Danny Tarnable, Bernie Williams, Starlin Castro.
I'm live with this, except
Carlos Beltran, Brian McCann, Aaron Judge, Tino Martinez, David Justice, Alfonso Soriano. So Tino, Tart, and Bernie, I imagine, are going to be 2000s. 90s. 2000s, Justice, A-Rod, and Soriano. 2010s, Beltran, McCann and Castro. Honestly, this might be fully correct. Oddly enough, I got both fully correct. A walk-off homer on first try for both. Full correct answers for the 90s top 5 in homers. Tino Martinez, Danny Tarble, Bernie Williams. 2000 top 20 in homers. David Justice, A-Rod, Alfonso Soriano. 2010's top 20 in homers. Carlos Beltran, Brian McCann, Tony Castro. 2020's top 5 in homers. TJ LeMahieu, John Carlos Stanton, and Aaron Judge. So that's daily walk-off. For today, I already done a MacBook grid, so won't be doing that for the podcast. Let's start with college football. So, a few, not much of an upset week this week, but a few things here and there. USF, who had started off the season really good, and then basically completely fell apart, getting blown out by Miami 49-12 this week. Bringing them back down to reality that you're not necessarily as good as you might think you are. I forget how far they fell. I'm doing the podcast right now. How far do they fall in rankings? Might not even be ranked for all I know anymore. Yeah, I think they completely fell out. Let's see. Yeah, they're not even ranked anymore after getting blown out by Miami. Back down to reality. Reality check. Georgia beat Tennessee 44-41 in overtime. Max Gilbert from Tennessee missed a 43-yard field goal that sent the game to overtime instead of Tennessee getting an upset victory at home against Georgia. And then Tennessee did get a field goal in overtime, and Georgia scored a touchdown, and Georgia won the game. Number 16, Texas A&M upset number 8, Notre Dame 41-40. Vandy upsetting South Carolina 31-7, though Lenore Sellers did get injured in that game for South Carolina. And Georgia Tech beat Clemson, number 12 Clemson 24-21 on an Aiden Burr 55-yard game-winning field goal to pull off the upset. That is it. The recap of last week. The key games to look out for this week of the ranked versus ranked. Number 17, Texas Tech at number 16, Utah, 12 p.m. on Fox. Number 22, Auburn at number 11, Oklahoma, 3:30 on ABC. And number 9, Illinois at number 19, Indiana, 7:30 on NBC. All these are on Saturday, by the way. No Sunday games. NFL Week 2 recap. Packers beat the Commanders 27-18 between this game and the I almost said Tigers. I hate when I mix up the sports city sports teams. Game Packers have notched 4+ sacks, allowed 60 rushing yards or less, and allowed 200 net passing yards. No other NFL team in the Super Bowl era ever has done that in each of the first 2 games of the season. Ravens beat the Browns 41-17. Orioles, again mixing up sports league city teams. Ravens are the 13th team in NFL history to score at least 40 points in each of the first 2 games of an NFL season, but the first to do so without being 2-0 as they lost week 1 after being up 40-25. Patriots beat the Dolphins 33-27. Malik Washington of the Dolphins 74-yard punt return touchdown immediately followed by Antonio Gibson 90-yard kick return touchdown. Marks the second time in NFL history each followed one after the other since week 2 1992. Desmond Howard of the Washington Commanders, nowadays name redacted back then, 55-yard punt return touchdown, immediately followed by Deion Sanders, the Atlanta Falcons 99-yard kick return touchdown. Falcons beat the Vikings 22-6. Minnesota is the only team in the Super Bowl era to have a game with under 200 yards of offense, failed to score a touchdown, took 6+ sacks, fumbled 4+ times, committed 4+ turnovers, 8+ penalties, and allowed an individual 100-yard rusher. And then the Buccaneers beat the Texans 20-19. Baker Mayfield, second NFL QB since 1995, to lead a game-winning drive that began with under 2:30 left in regulation in back-to-back games did against Falcons the week before, joining Brett Favre on September 26th, week 3 versus the Vikings in 23-20 win, and October 10th, 1999 against the Buccaneers in a 26-23 win with a bye week in between for Favre back then. And that's it for week 2 recap. I forgot to mention my week 1 predictions record, by the way, in which I went 11-5, and week 2 I went 12-4. My overall predictions record so far is 23-9. Pretty good start to the season. Standings update before I jump into week 3 predictions. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Bills in first place at 2-0, followed by the 1-1 Patriots, followed by the 0-2 Jets. Dolphins. In the AFC North, Bengals in first place at 2-0, followed by the 1-1 Ravens and Steelers, followed by the 0-2 Browns. In the AFC South, the Colts in first place at 2-0, followed by the 1-1 Jaguars, followed by the 0-2 Texans and Titans. In the AFC West, the Chargers in first place at 2-0, followed by the 1-1 Raiders and Broncos, followed by the 0-2 Chiefs, which is still crazy to see that they're 0-2, but they'll probably win this week given they're playing Giants. In the NFC East, the Eagles in first place at 2-0, followed by the 1-1 Commanders and Cowboys, followed by the 0-2 Giants. In the NFC North, the Packers in first place at 2-0, followed by the 1-1 Vikings, Lions, followed by the 0-2 Bears. In the NFC South, the Buccaneers in first place at 2-0, followed by the 1-1 Falcons, followed by the 0-2 Saints and Panthers. And in the NFC West, the 49ers and Cardinals and Rams all 2-0, while the Seahawks are 1-1. Week 3 predictions. Thursday Night Football, Dolphins at the Bills, 8:15 on Amazon Prime Video. I forgot the Bills. Packers at Browns, 1 p.m. on Fox. The Sunday games, I have the Packers. Colts at Titans, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Colts. Bengals, Vikings, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Vikings. Steelers at Patriots, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Steelers. Rams at Eagles, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Eagles. Jets at Buccaneers at 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Buccaneers. Raiders at Commanders, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Commanders. Falcons at Panthers, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Falcons. Texans at Jaguars, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Texans. Broncos at Chargers, 4:05 on CBS. I have the Chargers. Saints at Seahawks, 4:05 on CBS. I have the Seahawks. Cowboys at Bears, 4:25 on Fox. I have the Cowboys. Cardinals at 49ers, 4:25 on Fox. I have 49ers. Chiefs at Giants, 8:20 NBC. Sunday Night Football. As much as I would love to see the Chiefs go 3, they're probably going to win this game, even though it's at MetLife. And Monday Night Football, Lions at Ravens, 8:15 on ABC/ESPN. I have the Ravens. And that's it for the NFL part of this episode. And now for MLB Weekly Recap. Dating back to September 10th. So from September 10th, Orioles beat the Pirates 2-1 in 10 innings. Dylan Beaver's walk-off RBI single on the 10th makes the Orioles the first team to have a walk-off win in four of last 5 games since the Nationals, who did it, hit 5 in 6 games from August 16th to the 21st in 2014. Orioles St. Louis Browns franchise has done so 2 times before that, from June 23rd to 27th, 1954, and July 2nd to the 5th, 1945. Mariners beat the Cardinals 4-2 in 13 innings. That doesn't make sense. That completely doesn't make sense. I was like, what? Oh, they did actually play each other, oddly enough. Dodgers beat the Rockies 9-0. I don't know how I mixed that up. That is a weird mix-up I do not usually have. Strange. Anyways, I'm guessing this is where... Yeah. I had flipped it. That's what had happened. Okay. Mookie Betts grand slam home in the 8th marks his 5th straight game with multiple RBIs, which is tied for second longest such streak in Dodgers history since 1920, behind 1953 Roy Campanella, 6, and tied with 2010 Matt Kemp, 1993 Mike Piazza, 1962 Tommy Davis, 1960 Wally Moon, 1930 Billy Brave Herman. Also, it's his 22nd grand slam on 3-0 count since 1988, including postseason. It's the first time first in the MLB since he did so on August 7th, 2023. He's the only player with a 2-3-0 Grand Slam since 1988. Mariners beat the Cardinals 4-2 in 13 innings. Leo Rivas walk-off two-run homer in the 13th makes him the fourth player in Mariners history with a walk-off homer for his first or second career homer, joining April 13, 2016, Dae-Ho Lee, September 28, 2007, Jeff Clement, and April 13th, 1985, Phil Bradley. Also, second career homer. All second career homers for both of them. Also the 20th player with a walk-off homer in 13th inning or later for his first or second career homer. The first to do so was Old Hoss Radbourn on August 17th, 1882 in the 18th inning. I had a wacky comment on TikTok today, apparently, for some reason. I don't know what this dude was saying. Never mind. Anyways, that was it for September 10th. For September 11th, Yankees beat the Tigers 9-3. Aaron Judge's solo home run in the first is his 18th first inning homer of the season, tied with himself last season in 2001 A-Rod for the most in the season in MLB history. Stanton's solo home run in the third marks 56 games all time, both him and Judge have homered the same as teammates, which is tied for seventh most times in MLB history, including playoffs, behind Eddie Matthews and Hank Aaron 76, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig 75, Willie McCovey, Willie Mays, and Duke Snider and Gil Hodges 68, Billy Williams, Ron Santos 64, Chipper and Andrew Jones and Harmon Killebrew and Abba Allison 61, Jim Rice and Dwight Evans 57, and tied with Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, and Eddie Matthews, Joe Adcock, and passing Ken Griffey Jr., JB 55. Aaron Judge's home run in the third marks his 361st career homer, tying Joe DiMaggio for fourth most of the homers in Yankees history, now behind Babe Ruth 659, Mickey Mantle's 536, and Lou Gehrig's 493. He did end up passing to Joe DiMaggio, I think, literally the next day with his home run in the first first inning. Also, now having most first inning home runs in the season. Also, that homer the next day on September 12th, which that's it for September 11th, by the way, is the Yankees' 46th first inning home run this season, which is tied for second most behind 2023 Braves 47 and tied with 2019 Reds. Astros beat the Braves 11-3. Zach Pull's two-run homer in the third makes him the fifth Astro to homer in first career at bat, joining September 8th, 2008, Mark Sacomano. September 4th, 2006, Charlton Jimerson. June 27, 2003, Dave Matranga. And July 30th, 1975, Jose Sosa. Giants beat the Dodgers 5-1 in 10 innings. Justin Verlander, one earned run is his first time allowing one or zero earned runs over 3 inning span since 2022 when he had 2 such spans, only other age 42 plus to do so in a 3-start span since 1900. 22 Rich Hill, 2015 Bartolo Colon, 2008 Randy Johnson, 2004 and 2005 Roger Clemens, 1982 and 1984 Phil Niekro, 1963 Warren Spahn, and 1909 Cy Young. Patrick Bailey's walk-off grand slam in the 10th is the 7th walk-off grand slam in San Francisco Giants history, joining June 15, 2022 Mike Yastrzemski, September 3rd, 1973 Bobby Bonds, April 25th, 1969, Jack Hyatt, and May 26th, 1959, Leon Wagner, June 16th, 1952, Bobby Thompson, and May 8th, 1925, Billy Southworth. Also, is the first player in MLB history with a walk-off inside the park homer and a walk-off grand slam in the same season. Also, the fourth player with both in a career, joining Tim Tufel, Roberto Clemente, and Billy Southworth, both on the same, and for Clemente, both on the same plate on July 25th, 1956. That's it for June 1st. I said June, September 12th. Come on, I'm just going to system. Trustee water. Anyways, September 13th, the Rangers beat the Mets 3-2. Juan Soto solo run the seventh, marks 35 homers and 35 stolen bases and 115 walks this season, making him the third player to do so in MLB history, joining 1997-99 Jeff Bagwell and 1996-99 Barry Bonds. Also makes him the first player of 40-plus homer season for both the Yankees and Mets. Also makes him the third player in MLB history with 40-plus homers in his first year with his franchise multiple times, joining Nelson Cruz 3 times and Jim Thome. Also the ninth player to have 40-plus homers for different teams in consecutive seasons, joining 2023-2024 Shohei Ohtani, Angels, Dodgers. In 2014, 2015, Nelson Cruz, Orioles, and Mariners. 2002-2003, Jim Thome, Cleveland, and Philly. 2000-2001, A-Rod, Mariners, and Rangers. 1999-2000, Ken Griffey Jr., Mariners, and Reds. 1998-99, Rafael Palmeiro, Orioles, and Rangers. 1998-99, Greg Vaughn, Padres, and Reds. And 1997-1998, Andre Colorado, Rockies, and Braves. Angels beat the Mariners 5. Mariners beat the Angels 5-3. Brian Wood 13 strikeouts makes him the third starting Mariners starting pitcher with 13 strikeouts in a game this season, joining George Kirby and Logan Gilbert. That's tied for second most starting pitchers on a team with at least one 13 strikeout game in a season since 1900, tied with or behind 1969 Astros 4 and tied with 2018 Cleveland and 2018 Astros. A's beat the Reds 11-5. Carlos Cortez 2-run homer in the second inning in the 12th pitch at bat is tied for second most by an A's player in a plate appearance, ending in a homer since 1988, behind June 1st, 2008, Mark Ellis 13, and tied with April 5th, 2023, Jesus Aguilar, September 2nd, 2017, Bruce Maxwell, and May 15th, 2017, Chris Davis. That's it for September 13th. For September 14th, Mets beat the Rangers 5-2 in 10 innings. Pete Alonso walk-off homer, 3-run homer in the 10th is his fifth career walk-off homer, the most in Mets history. Nolan McLean 6 innings, 0 runs, marked 6 straight starts, 5 innings, 2 runs or less, which is tied for second most start career since 1900, behind 2022 Alex Faedo, 2006 Jared Weaver, and 1945 Dave Ferris 7, and tied with 2013 Jared Kozar, 2008-2009 Josh Greer, 2005 Matt Cain, 1984-1985 Tom Browning, 1973 Steve Rogers, and 1972 Dave Hamilton. Mariners beat the Angels 11-2. Cal Raleig's 2-run homer in the first, it ties him with 961 Mickey Mantle for most homers by a switch hitter in a season. The win marks the latest into the season where Mariners had sole possession of first place in the AL West since 2001, where they won the division but lost in the ALCS in 6 games to the Yankees. Oh, by the way, and Cal Raleigh did pass that record. We'll get to that soon. Red Sox beat the Yankees 6-4. Garrett Crochet's 12 strikeouts, marked 240 strikeouts this season with 59 runs and 56 earned runs, making him the ninth time and seventh starting pitcher to have 220 plus strikeouts and less than 60 runs in the first 29 outings with the team, joining 2018 and 2024 Chris Sale, Red Sox and Braves, 2022 Carlos Rondon, San Francisco Giants, 2017-18 Justin Verlander, Astros, 1999-2000 Pedro Martinez, and 1997 Roger Clemens, Blue Jays, and 1972 Steve Carlton, the Phillies. Jaron Duran, Alex Bregman, Trevor Story, and Nathaniel Lowe all singling, and Romy Gonzalez's double in a row marks the first time since July 7th, 1989 that Red Sox first 5 batters each got a hit in a game versus the Yankees. That is it for September 14th. For September 15th, Blue Jays beat the Rays 2-1 in 11 innings. Trey Savage, 9 strikeouts, his major league debut, is most by a pitcher in his major league debut in Blue Jays history. Also, his 19 swings and misses is tied for fourth most in major league debuts since 2008, behind March 30th of last year, Jared Jones. I just lost my place. 22. April 3rd, 2008, Johnny Cueto's 2021, and April 1st of last year's season, Shoto Magaga, and May 30th, 2013, Alex Colomés 20, and tied with September 9th this year, and Connolly Early, and May 13th, 2008, Freddie Peralta. Diamondbacks beat the Giants 8-1. 20-year-old Bryce Eldridge made his major league debut in this game, becoming youngest San Francisco Giants to appear in a game since Madison Bumgarner's 2010. Youngest San Francisco Giants position player to appear in a game since Jeff Ransom in 1981. Corbin Carroll's leadoff double with 6 marks, 30 doubles, 16 triples, and 30 homers this season, making him the 10th player in MLB history to do so, joining 2007 Jimmy Rollins, 1948 Stan Musial, 1937 Joe DiMaggio, 1935 Hank Greenberg, 1932 Chuck Klein, 1930 Al Simmons, 1927 Joe DiMaggio, 1935 Hank Greenberg, 1932 Chuck Klein, 1930 Al Simmons, 1927 and 30 and 31 Lou Gehrig, 1928 Jim Bottomley, and 1921 Babe Ruth. Phillies beat the Dodgers 6-5 in 10 innings. Schwarber's solo home run in the first off Anthony Anda's his 22nd homer off left-handed pitching this season, tied for most homers by a left-handed batter against left-handed pitcher in a season with 2021 Matt Olson and 1949 Sam Musial. Sorry about that. That's it for September 15th. For September 16th, Athletics beat the Red Sox 2-1. Trevor Story stolen base in the 5th, marks 30 straight stolen bases this season, which is tied for second most to start a season since 1951, behind 1989 Vince Coleman's 44. And tied with 2023 Trey Turner and 2009 Carl Crawford, and ahead of 1981 Julio Cruz's 28. One moment. Almost done. Mets beat the Padres 8-3. Pete Alonso solo run in the second is his 35th this season, which, along with Juan Soto's 40 homers this season, makes them the third pair of Mets teammates to both have 35 plus homers in the season, joining 2006 Carlos Beltran, Carlos Delgado, and 1987 Howard Johnson and Darryl Strawberry. Mariners beat the Royals 12-5. Cal Raleigh's 2-homer game marks his 10th multi-homer game this season, second most in MLB history, behind 2022 Aaron Judge, 1998 Sammy Sosa, and 1938 Hank Greenberg's 11. Also marked 56 homers this season as a switch-hitting batter, which passes 1961 Mickey Mantle for most of the season in MLB history. And Phillies beat the Dodgers 9-6. Shohei Ohtani solo run the eighth is his 50th this season, making him the second foreign player with consecutive 50-plus homer seasons in MLB history, joining Sammy Sosa. Also makes him the seventh time and sixth player with 50-plus homers in back-to-back seasons, joining 2001 to 2002 A-Rod, 1998 to 2001 Sammy Sosa, 1997-98 Ken Griffey Jr., 1996-99 Big Mac, a.k.a. Arthur McGuire, and 1920-21 and 1927-28 Babe Ruth, along with 50-plus strikeouts this season, making him the first pitcher to do so. And that's it for the notes part of this week's episode. Now a standings update. That's wildcard. There you go. In the AL East, the Blue Jays in first place at 89-62, followed by the 84-67 Yankees, who are 5 games back, followed by the 82-69 Red Sox, who are 7 games back. In the AL Central, Tigers in first place at 85-66, followed by the 79-71 Guardians, who are 5.5 games back. In the AL West, the Mariners in first place at 83-60, followed by the 83-69 Astros, a half game back, followed by the 79-73 Rangers, 4.5 games back. In the NL East, the Phillies in first place, having won the NL East at 91-61, so that division race is over. In the NL Central, the Brewers in first place at 92-59, having clinched a playoff spot, followed by the 80-64 Cubs, who just clinched a playoff spot today, 4.5 games back. And in the NL West, the Dodgers first place at 84-67, followed by the 82-69 Padres, 2 games back, followed by the 77-75 Diamondbacks, 7.5 games back, followed by the Giants, 75-76, 9 games back. And the wild card standings, which these will include even today's games, more than likely. The top spot in the AL, top spot is the Yankees, 2 games up, followed by the Astros, or a half game up. Which, by the way, if the playoffs were today, that would be the wild card matchup, Yankees-Astros rematch of 2015. Followed by the Red Sox, who are no games up. And then the first team out, Cleveland's 2.5 games back, followed by the Rangers, who are 3.5 back, followed by the Royals, 7 games back, followed by the Rays, 9 games back. And then the NL top spot is the Cubs, 9.5 games up, followed by the Padres, 4 games up, followed by the Mets, who are no games up. And then the first team out, Diamondbacks, game and a half back, followed by the Reds, 2.5 games back, followed by the Giants, 3 games back, followed by the Cardinals, 5 games back, followed by the Marlins, 7 games back, followed by the Braves, 9.5 games back. And then as for today's games, so 3 games have gone final. Cubs won 8-4 to clinch the playoff spot. The Reds beat the Cardinals 6-2, and the Orioles beat the White Sox 3-1. Hold on one moment. Games currently going on. Giants leading Diamondbacks 1-0 top 11, and the Braves beating the Nationals 5-3 middle 7. As for the games that have not started yet and will be playing later on, Guardians at Tigers at 6:40. Evan Williams against Jack Flaherty. A's at Red Sox at 6:45. Mason Barnett against Lucas Giolito. Blue Jays at Rays at 7:05. Kevin Gausman against, I want to say it's Ian Seymour. Padres Mets at 7:10. Nick Pivetta against Dave Peterson. Mariners at Royals at 7:40. Bryce Miller against Cole Reagans. Yankees at Twins at 7:40. Luis Gil against Taj Bradley. Angels at Brewers at 7:40. Jose Soriano against Brandon Woodruff. Rangers at Astros at 8:10. Jacob deGrom against Christian Javier. Marlins at Rockies at 8:40. Ryan Weathers against Cade Brown. And then Phillies at Astros at 10:10. Jesus Luzardo against Blake Snell. So the podcast, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you're new to YouTube, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, notification on to notify when I go live and post a video. If you're new in audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, hit notification bell to notify when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I'll see you next week's episode 189. Bye-bye.